pleasure to have you. And last time we had a conversation, and I personally learned a lot from you in that span of just, I think, 45 minutes. Ke liye. So let me just start by asking you the very first question of this interview is itself a hacker, and the content which you have created in the form of book, that is also consisting of a life of a hacker. So how you have got stumbled upon the fact that yes, I can write something upon it? That's my first question. And what made you write a amazing genre story which deals with suspense and thriller?
Well, thank you so much for calling my book amazing and liking the genre. So, firstly, I didn't choose writing. Writing chose me, I can say, because it's something Basically, I've been reading a lot since my childhood days, and I used to scribble down poetry, essays, and all those the long answer questions that we had in exams, all the language papers. So yeah, it was always there. And yeah, during my early 20s, I wrote a lot of blog posts, and those blog posts are becoming novels. So it's been a very, like, I would say, a seamless journey. I never thought like I wanted to be a writer, although my friends always used to say that, yeah, Gautam will be a writer. But then I don't know. It's just, writing is a way of escape for me. And
Yeah. Okay.
coming to the genre, what
Yeah,
basically
the
is,
specific genre I
yeah.
was asking, like, what made you choose a specific genre which is related to, because it, when I see the cover of the book, it is generally related to some sort of a comic series as well, because I can relate it to that. And the animation within the cover page shows some of the suspense, which is generally we expect it from the comics, but you have converted the comics into a particular story. That comes a different sort of writing. So what had made you write certain stuff?
Well, again, like, speaking about genre, what happened is, see, what happens is, if you're working in the same field, or you tend to have, a bit of knowledge of that field, and that gives you
Mm,
that confidence,
yeah, yeah,
because I believe in writing realistic fictions, and having, a career as a cybersecurity professional definitely helped me. And one more thing is, if you see in movies and all the popular, series, what all they show hacking as, magic. some um, some guy just with punch
yeah,
of keys, you get access granted. That's not what hacking is. So being in this domain, I just wanted to show realistic hacking, which sadly they show hackers like magicians. So I wanted to burst that myth. What do you call that? And I wanted to show hacking as a very, realistic concept, and it's not as easy as they show in movies. There are a lot of prerequisites involved, and also something which I've added in my book. So yeah,
mm,
basically being from that domain kind of
absolutely.
gives you confidence, and you can, be uh, sure about a lot of things, and you can add realistic stories as well to make it more interesting. So I guess that worked, and I'm happy that I chose that genre to start with.
Yeah. So when you first drafted your first book's draft, I mean, this is your second novel, right? So the
Yeah.
first novel which you wrote, that was I'm So Hacked.
Mm,
And when you drafted that first plot of that story,
mhm.
how much you believe that you have changed from drafting that first story
Okay.
till to the next story which you have come upon. So how was the journey? Did you learn something new from it? And how you have personally developed from the writing series, from starting from the first to the second one?
Okay. Well, again, the stoned concept was again all about a blog post. So sometime 2 3 years back, there were riots in Pune, and I just came, and I didn't want to choose anyone's side of the two communities who were rioting. So I just wrote something from a stoner's perspective, stoner's perspective, and that kind of became a bit viral that time on Facebook,
Yeah.
and people started liking it. That concept, like a stoner journeying through something, for example, riots. Then I wrote more blog posts. A stoner gets high and runs a marathon. Okay. And again, it had all this sarcastic quirks and humor, a bit of humor as well. And Half Baked Beans wanted me to write more such posts. So I ended up writing around 5, 6 blog posts. So now during the lockdown, when I had a little time with me, what I did is those blog posts I compiled into a novella. So Stoned is just a compilation of
Okay.
this blog post, and those blog posts, which were very independent blog posts, I compiled it into a book and gave it a theme, that is COVID-20, that drug, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happened.
On that point,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
When I saw the title of the story, Stone, which had also a subtitle which is related to COVID-20. So what is the story of that word COVID-20? Because I was quite intrigued about it when I saw the
Okay.
title. What made you choose? Was it a effect of lockdown itself or something else?
Well, like I said, those blogs were from Stoner's perspective. And I didn't want to have real drugs in book, because just to add on the record, this book doesn't promote any abuse or alcohol abuse. We don't promote that. It's just a sarcastic journey. It's just a sarcastic tale of a stoner, and we needed a drug. So COVID-20
Okay.
is actually a drug. It's not a virus, contrary to what people are thinking. It's a drug. And yeah, I guess that's all I can say about it. So to find out more, you have to read the book.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna read it because I saw the plot of the story, and it is also related to time machine. You have created like so many versions of it in within a one plot. I mean, there are time machines in it, and you have also make it in a some sort of authentic way. You have included your own place, that is Mumbai itself,
Yeah.
and the character of your plot and the story is Amar, who just goes into a journey and in his own time machine. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what is your process of thinking when you start writing about these books? Because this is not just comes within 1 or 2 days. It's a journey which you have to pursue. Because at the end of the day, I have seen so many writers. They will ask me like they start writing and they write for like 5 or 6 pages and they are done with the writing because they don't have a content to much to say upon.
Okay.
So what makes you to write like 400, 200 pages or 300 pages continuously within a plot? So, what's your procedure of writing? I'm not asking for the like physically because I'm not going to ask, but I just want to ask like what is mentally how you prepared of writing a story.
Mhm.
So that was my question.
Okay. So yeah, physically, of course, I am a very lazy writer. I don't sit for these many hours, or I don't even write these many words, and I don't have a specific target. So I was just saying that the other day, I do time pass. I create experiences, memories for 364 days a day, a year, and then on 365th day I'll write. So that lazy I am. I don't write much, to be very honest. But then
That's the common thing. That's the common thing. I am also lazy sometimes because when I don't have ideas in my mind, I'll try to take a rest because rest करने के बाद ही जो आता है content that is
yeah,
very
absolutely,
good.
absolutely. So
Yeah,
that's what
yeah. Go
what
on. Sorry to interrupt you.
that's fine. So yeah, what I was saying is uh, for yeah, so the development was like I said, those blogs were there 3 years back, and they were very independent blog posts. So the connecting of those blogs, it wasn't very easy. I wrote 4, 5 different versions. I even discussed with the publisher like this version, that version, but then we were not really confident about some version. Didn't take it further. But then when this lockdown happened and this concept of a guy who is stuck in a time machine, okay, he's not traveling, he's stuck in a time machine. So I thought like, hey, okay, this is something which will interest people. So similarly, like it's not a sci-fi book, contrary to what I get DMs and because of the cover maybe the whole thing. But yes, there is a bit of
Yeah,
sci-fi
because
thing
of,
involved.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a bit of sci-fi thing involved, but there are a lot of things involved. There is a bit of PUBG, there is a bit of marathon, like I mentioned. It's
Yeah,
just everyday thing.
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just a
Because
combination of all these.
last one of your book,
Hmm. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. Because last one of your book, that is I'm so had, that
Hmm.
is mostly related to health, I think.
Yeah, that
So
was
that's why I think people will have a perspective about,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
because that was a bit, specific to the topic of hacking and a thriller, a psycho thriller. And more books in the hacker series are coming, which are also, specific to a longer story span. But like I mentioned, Stoned is a novella. It's hardly around 90-95 pages. It's not a huge book, and it's not a big sci-fi novel. Like I said, it's a we have categorized it into satire or sarcastic genre, like humor. Basically, you can put it as humor genre.
okay,
So it's
all right,
just a stoner's
yeah,
guide
yeah,
to all these everyday things, and of course there are twists because what is so coming to that point, what I try to add is I try to think from this perspective, like what would interest me, if I'm reading something that I personally like is something which keeps me intrigued, something that keeps my interest, after the end of the chapter, like what will happen next, be it any novel, be it a thriller or a human novel or any novel, even romance novel, there has to be that curiosity. So I guess the answer to your question in one word,
yeah,
we spoke about a lot of things, but if I can answer you in one word, it would be curiosity. I like to create a plot which is curious,
absolutely,
myself
absolutely.
as well. Yeah. So that is
Which,
something.
yeah, absolutely, because it keeps on evolving, it
Yeah.
keeps on running into your head.
Yeah.
And it's like an imagination wherein you just have so much things to write upon.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the young writers who are trying to write something,
Yeah.
the most important thing, if someone is writing, is like you have to imagine first, and that should not be like 2 to 3 pages ka. First of all, but I mean, I think when I start writing, I start the last chapter of the novel. I mean, I don't write particularly, but I have the last line. Yes, sir. I
uh,
think this would be the last line
okay, that's very
because
interesting.
if say I can create the past, I can create everything. So
Perfect.
थोड़ा end सही हो जाता है. It's my perspective. It's my thing
That's a
to do.
great perspective.
But yeah,
Even I've
go
thought
on.
about it, and I guess I did for, like you should have that end in your mind, in your head. That really helps you, create the beginning and in between. So that's what, like the connect is very important. For me as a reader, I like to have that connect and that curiosity and interest throughout the book. So that's very important.
Absolutely. So let's talk about nuclear.
Oh,
You have, I think nuclear had read your book and he was like quite interested in it. So I mean, how you stumbled upon, yes, let's share my work with nuclear, and then how he reacted to it.
well, he's amazing. I mean, I've seen his documentary that Roots to Ride. It's a very motivational documentary. I had seen it around 2-3 years back, and that time, also the time when I was hearing a lot of nuclear music, I was crazy about his music. I mean, still am. So that time, those blog posts, again going back to those blog posts, uh, like I had mentioned, nuclear songs and the music, and how with the music the situation changed during that ride, cab ride during the rides. I mean, so nuclear was there in those blog posts. So when we compiled the book, we kept that
Okay.
part as well of nucleus music. So one or two chapters on that part. There is a concert which is happening, and then we thought, why not we can ask him if he is ready to, maybe give us a shout out or even a forward. And he was very
Okay.
happy. Like his team and even they all were very supportive. Soon they accepted and agreed to write a foreword for the book, and they also wanted the whole manuscript. So we gave them the manuscript, so they became the first readers of my book, and they like the concept, and they have written a very sweet foreword, nicely summarize what I actually wanted to portray. So during in his foreword, you will find almost the short summary basically without revealing the exact details. So it's amazing.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah, so
So you have included quote.
like a famous personality has said this quote, ऐसे वो स्टार्ट हुआ था, because आजकल किसी के नाम पे भी ऐसा फोटो चिपकाओ, कोट लिखो, and people believe you. People actually believe that that person is such.
Yeah.
So that was
Absolutely.
so that was the reference that
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
wanted to present during those blog posts, that so and so said that this is what it is, and then there is a twisted line. So in the book also, in those chapters which are again nothing but those blog posts, I've kept those quotes, because that's the theme of the book is sarcasm. So I hope nobody takes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I also wanted to ask you, when you write your content and when you publish it
Yeah.
online or when it reaches to reader,
Hmm.
there is a certain perspective which has been developed by the readers
Okay.
about the author as well.
Okay.
And sometimes it gets reflected in the comments also in some sort of a social media thing.
Okay.
And sometimes it affects you in certain way because I think, does it affect you in certain way if someone says you something or someone texts you in a certain way,
Okay.
like if they like this content in the book or if they don't like the content in the book,
Okay.
um, does it affect you in the process of writing or it doesn't affect you at all? Because this is something which is common to every single artist
Hmm.
or every single writer as well, is the perspective of the people.
Hmm.
So yeah, how you tackle with such issues?
Yeah, look, perspective of people is very important, because at the end of the day, we write for ourselves, but we also write for readers. So, of course, their perspective matters. But most times, what I try to do is, whenever I have received any, negative review or negative comment about my book, whenever I've received that, I've taken it very positively, and I've tried to learn from it. Because someone writes something negative about it, you actually have to think over it and think, do not get angry, do not get,
Yeah, absolutely.
if it makes sense, then
Absolutely.
there's
Because I have
nothing
seen,
improve over it. Yeah, I mean, learn from it. But
yeah.
there are cases try to uh, write something about
Mm,
you and all. Those are just jealous.
absolutely.
I've come across them as well. But those are just jealous people, what it is. So
Because
such cases you can just ignore. If they are pointless, if they are senseless, you can just ignore. You don't have to worry about them, because if someone can create
yeah,
a fake profile and write something,
yeah, that's a
it's a whole different
different chunk
agenda they
of,
have. They don't
absolutely,
have
that's
problem
a
with your
different
writing,
chunk.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different chunk.
Hmm.
But yeah, as you said, critics also matters a lot because I
Absolutely.
had
I've learned a lot.
also evolved through it and learned from it because yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely,
Yeah.
what the readers want, and they have like they want us to feedback.
Hmm.
So yeah. Uh, okay, so my next question is, what is the essence of your characters and the plot? How you choose to write certain things? Uh, I mean, when you sit to write, you have like, what is the name of the character and how the character will be behaving. What are the characteristics of it? What is the, we have to send these characters into a quest. wherein they find something or
Okay.
they lose something or they gain something. So in this process of writing,
Mm-hmm.
how you came up with the character development and also the place. I think in this story you have selected Mumbai as your plot of the story. I mean the surroundings and all. So how does it comes into your mind? Ki, Acha, let's select this place, these characters with these powers and these weaknesses,
Okay.
and let's make a story.
Okay. Oh well, place, of course, it depends. If you if you remember, my first book doesn't have mention of any place or any time or any year, and that is done on purpose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So probably you'll
Okay.
get answers. I mean, maybe in second book of Hacker series, or maybe never. I can't reveal that. But coming to my second book, there is Mumbai in it because we wanted to, that concept of, the entire population of Mumbai city has gone to sleep. So I wanted a specific city for it, and of course, why not like the major city in India where um, yeah, I mean, again, I did not give a very deep thought over it. Why not Delhi, why not Goa? But then yeah, it just
Oh,
happened.
okay, okay.
Yeah, it is a big city and I wanted a big city because हमेशा कोई भी ऐसे टेररिस्ट अटैक करता है तो मुंबई पे ही करते हैं like like in movies I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because in popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mumbai was
So
go-to city.
yeah, that's amazing because yeah, it's also cool. Sometimes places doesn't matter in content,
And
um,
speaking of character
but in some
development,
also
yes.
it.
So yeah, speaking of character development, sorry to interrupt. I just want to add one thing that you asked. It does become difficult, especially because I am from Goa and I have spent my working time in Pune. So in the second book of Hacker series, again this is not a spoiler, so I can just give away. There is a character, a female character. She's from Kolkata. So to understand her perspective, because I personally had been to Kolkata only once when I was 3 or 4 years old, I guess. So I don't remember shit about Kolkata,
Okay.
obviously. But then yeah, for example, there is a scene where she is jogging. Okay, so I needed that scene to be placed in maybe like 10-15 minutes, and to describe like she is jogging and her surroundings are also important. And since I mentioned I like realistic fiction, I have to take real names, and then real name whichever jogging park I take, that has to be
Okay.
of 10-minute wala jogging.
Yeah.
I can't take like 2 minute wala chota sa jogging and then write a scene around it. People will notice. People obviously
Yeah,
critics
yeah.
will come and like ये क्या लिख दिया ऐसा है ही नहीं. तो ऐसे comment avoid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Research is very important. Of course, 100% research won't be possible,
Absolutely.
but then you have to try and do maximum
But
research.
yeah,
Yeah, जितना हो सकता है उतना realistic बनाने की कोशिश करनी.
real. Absolutely. And
So
the reality, when we start writing,
yeah,
the most important thing there in the writing is like you are writing something which seems to be real to the reader.
yeah, yeah.
We have to create certain scenarios wherein
Mm,
the reader should believe in the story.
yeah.
And, and there are so many stories out there
Mm.
that literally they don't have a realistic plot in it.
Yeah, then it's
I
fine.
think
If you
realistic and being authentic about the story,
mm,
it's very important for any writer
at
to
least for
focus
me it is
upon.
important. Yeah.
Whether it's a place or it's a character,
Mm,
absolutely.
yeah, because
Yeah.
readers connect
So
well.
let's just
Mhm.
talk about.
Yeah, tell me.
Sure, sure. Yeah, you go on, go on.
No, no, that's what I just wanted to add, that readers also connect well rather than, critics. That is one thing, but readers also, connect well if they have that realistic place or scene, or, they know that, okay, maybe this jogging park has this many trees around it and all that. So those little facts are very important.
Yeah. So let's seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon.
Mm.
So people can go and check it out. It's really amazing. I've seen the description of the story as well, and that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, it's like realistic seems to be, but also some sort of a sarcastic way, and that's
That's nice.
perfect. So yeah, that's amazing. So I just wanted to ask you, like,
Yeah.
is there any series you are thinking to write upon, or it's just one book with a particular ending?
No, this can be, a series, but for now, I have not thought about it because hacker series is something which
Okay.
we had thought about, and hopefully the book will come out, second book from hacker series pretty soon because we have those things talks in progress. But for stone, let's see, मतलब अभी तो release हुआ है, let's see how the response is, let's see how the people take
Yeah,
it. And ending, no, there is no
it
such.
would be perfect. It would be perfect. It will. When I saw the plot,
Hmm.
I was like, it's a different thing. It's not the usual thing. You have time machines in it. You have drugs in it.
Time
You have
machine.
story in it. Then why won't people? Yeah, they will spend some time to just read their stories, your story.
So
So that's perfect. I just wanted to end this interview. Can we end the interview?
yeah,
So
absolutely. Just one
I
more
just
thing
wanted to
that I
end the
wanted to
interview
add
by
is, yeah, because of the lockdown, deliveries are a bit difficult, because in Maharashtra, I think they have deliveries for essential services only. So books, not just the Stoned, but also my other book. So, especially at some pin code, for example, my Pune address, the delivery is not happening. So I just wanted to take this platform to tell the readers, like, have patience if you really, hopefully things get better, and maybe that time we'll have, we won't have these issues of deliveries at some specific location. Till then, you can always read ebook, and of course we'll
yeah,
try to give
ebooks
you
are
the.
available. That's amazing.
Yeah, ebooks are available, and paperback should also be available pretty soon at some locations. If you have any issues ordering it, have patience. Most importantly, stay safe. And this is a bad time that we are in. So stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, you can read my book later on also. And you can have the later
Absolutely,
on also. Yeah, I just want everyone to be safe and be cautious and take care of your loved ones and yourself. Yeah.
absolutely. So just wanted to ask you last
Yeah.
question: is any advice for any young writer who is thinking, who is confused, uh,
Okay.
who is in a dilemma to write what and to write what not? So just give some advice to those readers and the writers as well. I'm focusing on the writers.
See, again, like what I would say is, uh, I wrote a lot of blog posts and they became novels. They are becoming novels now. So the point is, you have to keep writing. Doesn't matter if it's a blog post. Doesn't matter if it's a short snippet on your quote or Meraki, whatever those apps are. Many apps, many opportunities. So the key is to keep writing. Basically, many people I've come across, they're like, writing a novel, I'm writing a novel. So yes, that's a good thing that you have a long term
Hmm.
goal, but it is also important, to write those short stories, short blog posts. Maybe they can be compiled into an anthology, or maybe, if those stories develop into a bigger story, you can then slowly evolve it, make it into a novel. So don't just rush because, hey, I want to be a writer. Yes, and you have to keep writing. And even if you are a writer,
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
you get lucky, you get published by a good publisher, but still, it's a constant process. I'm not saying I'm a great
Hmm.
writer, sitting here advising new author. I mean, I'm not at that level because I am also learning. I also have a lot of uh, things to improve in my writing, and that's why I keep sharing all those snippets, tiny quotes on my Instagram page. And blogging आजकल थोड़ा बंद हो गया है, but I keep, every day something or the other. And that's a constant learning process. A new word here, new grammatical improvement there, something or the other. It is always,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, keep writing.
I
Use
think I think
whatever.
writers. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
but how it dangerous they have to be because vocabulary sometimes plays a crucial role. but sometimes it's not. But
Hmm.
about the essence of the story, if you can
Yeah,
give the feel to the reader, I think that would be
absolutely.
amazing. It doesn't
Yeah,
require any perfect vocabulary. It doesn't require anything. Just a simple line, just
yeah,
has some feeling in it. It will definitely touch the heart of the reader. That's for sure.
surely, surely, because
So
reading,
yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
reading is like a learning again.
So yeah,
If you read, uh, when you watch, you kind of, just watch it. You watch someone else's perception, but when you're reading, that time you create your own. You're not just reading it, but you're
mm,
visualizing it. So your brain also kind of develops that visualization,
yeah, yeah,
and that is imagination, and that is very important if you are a writer, because you are someone who's presenting that imagination. So in that term also it really helps. And of
absolutely,
course,
yeah.
that vocabulary.
So yeah, yeah, we